Today, the British intelligence agency has confirmed that the next goal of Russia in this war is to capture the city of Slovyansk. How important is this city for Russia? Will they be able to capture it? And what is the end goal of Russia at this stage? And these are the questions that we'll be talking about in today's video. What's up, investors? Livia Bittencourt and people of Reddit, it's the Russian Dude, and this is your daily update on Russian-Ukrainian war as of Wednesday, July 6th. You can see the main events of the day to my right, along with the timestamps. Alright, so if you remember, this Sunday, Russia was able to declare a victory over the city of Lysychansk. And during my last couple of episodes, I was making assumptions that the next targeted cities for the Russian army will be cities of Slovyansk and Kramatorsk, which basically came true today, because according to the British intelligence, the next city target is indeed the city of Slovyansk. And right now, using this map, I'll be showing you most recent updates on the map of the war, as well as the significance of the capturing next city of Slovyansk. So first of all, as you can see, for the last couple of days, there were no significant advancements, neither from Russian nor from Ukrainian side. And the reason for this is because Russians are reinforcing recently captured city of Lysychansk. In addition to that, according to several reports, due to recent success in this city, Russia is now relocating some of its forces next to the Izum city. And the same reports claim that the Russian army was able to advance approximately 5 kilometers to the south of Izum in the direction to Slovyansk. So what we basically have at this very moment is that Russia reinforcing its recently captured territories and also relocating its forces. And the reason for this is because once again they're getting ready for their next major attack against the city of Slovyansk. The same reports claim that Russians were trying to advance from the east of this territory, specifically against the city of Verkhnokamensk, but Ukrainians were able to successfully resist these attacks. Potential city of interest in this region after capturing the city of Lysychansk will be the city of Seversk. And if Russians are indeed successful in this direction, this will open them the eastern direction towards the city of Slovyansk, so that they will be able to attack the city both from the east and from the north. Now back to some good news. For the last couple of days, Ukrainians were doing successful counteroffensive against the city of Donetsk. Specifically, they were using artillery strikes against military objects. And it has been reported that one of the most recent successful targets was the oil base. Speaking about the north of the country, there are active military actions in the Kharkiv region. Russians are mainly sending its missiles from the city of Belgrade, and Ukrainians respond basically doing the same. At this moment, this region is under heavy artillery strikes. And now, really quick about the south of the country, specifically Kherson region. As you might already know, the south of Ukraine is the most successful direction for counteroffensive of Ukraine. Ukrainians were able to breach first line of defense of Russians a couple of weeks ago, and in response to that, Russians are actively bombing the city of Mykolaiv. But Ukrainian army, with the assistance of artillery and partisan movements, are nevertheless able to advance closer to the city of Kherson. For example, one of the most recent reports claims that Ukrainians were able to destroy the military warehouse of Russians in the city of Kherson. So, what do we have at this very moment? According to the most recent map of the war, Russians are concentrating the majority of its forces in the east of the country. And in the meantime, while Ukrainians are relatively successful at resisting these attacks, they're also actively taking back the south of their own country. Due to most recent success of the Russian army at capturing the city of Lysychansk, their next target will be to relocate the majority of its forces next to Izum city and then try and capture the city of Slovyansk. And after potentially successfully capturing this city, their next target will be the city of Kramatorsk, which is to the south of the city of Slovyansk. And these are basically last two major remaining cities in the north part of Donetsk region. If you remember, one of the main goals of Russia in this war is to liberate the Donbas region. And as of today, Russia controls approximately 75% of this region. So it is estimated if Russia is successful in capturing these two major cities, they'll be controlling approximately 80 to 90% of the entire Donbas region. Which basically means in case they are successful, we might potentially see that Russia will be able to claim the liberation of Donbas. And after this, since this is the major goal of Russia at this point in this war, we hopefully and potentially might see that Russia will be withdrawing some of its forces. And as a result, hopefully once again, the majority of fighting will not be as intense. And by the way, besides making these videos, I also have my very own Discord server. And for those of you who want to support Ukraine with us, please make sure to check my Patreon. All the links can be found in the description. Welcome to another episode of ridiculous Russian propaganda. And today we have this picture of one of the restaurants which are found in one of the Russian shopping malls. Now, to mention the first and the foremost thing, I'm not exactly sure where people who did this made it as a joke or made it with the very serious intentions. But nevertheless, the reaction of crazy Russian patriots was pretty hilarious. Whenever you come across this picture among different Russian social medias, the comment section is almost basically the same. And it goes basically something as following. Okay, so Biden, you're always blaming Putin and Russia for your inflation and internal problems of the USA. So okay, go ahead and blame Russia and this will be our response. You do the poop talking about Russia and we'll do the actual poop in your mouth. Or something as extravagant and vulgar as eat poop President Biden. So basically, these are the counter-sanctions of regular Russians against the President of America. Today, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Russia claimed that they're not planning to restrict Russian citizens from leaving the country. What they mean by this is that they're not planning to create some kind of visas which you need to show while you're leaving Russia. And they also added that this is a constitutional right of every single Russian to be able to freely move in and out of the country. And I mean, everyone will be just relaxed and pay not significant attention to this news. But there is just one big but. First of all, there were so many examples in the past when Russia was saying that we're not going to do something just before doing exactly this thing. For example, somewhere in the middle or the end of February, they said that we're not going to invade Ukraine. And just look what happened. Or just like a dozen years ago, whenever Putin was finishing his second term as a president, he said that it is impossible for presidents to stay long in power because they just lose this connection with the reality. And once again, look what happened. What I mean by this is that controversially, every single time the government of Russia makes announcements like this, it is kind of the prelude for this exact thing to be happening in the nearest future. And I mean, whenever they are speaking about that this is a constitutional right of every single Russian, well, it's not like that Russian government ever changed constitution. Well, overall, I hope that this will never happen because I obviously still have relatives and friends in Russia, but that's the news that came today. Today, the Russian Senator Andrei Turchak mentioned that the Russian soldiers will forever remain in the liberated/occupied territories of Ukraine. And okay, let's be honest, he did not say occupied, he only said liberated. But anyways, the main idea for this statement, according to him, is that Russia will do everything possible to keep peace on Earth. And according to him, in order to keep peace on Earth, you have to keep your soldiers in a foreign country. Which basically means that in case there is some kind of provocations, probably created by Russian soldiers will be able to respond immediately. So this is basically his idea of peace on Earth, is that in case you want to achieve it, you have to be ready to fight for it. More than 30 representatives of the British government have resigned in the last couple of days. This is basically their way of protesting the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, Boris Johnson. If you remember, approximately 1 month ago, there was already a vote whether Boris Johnson should resign. And the results of this vote is that no, let him stay in power. And whatever is happening right now, it is basically the second attempt of the government to make Boris resign. It is just more serious this time. In response to that, Boris Johnson said that the world is in so much trouble right now, so we must focus on our external problems first, and then we can settle our internal problems. I'll keep a close eye on this situation and will report wherever something happens. The Minister of Foreign Affairs of Hungary, Peter Szijjártó, said that the country will not be sending weapons to Ukraine. This statement is basically around the idea that Hungary wants to stay neutral in this conflict. And he also added that approximately 150,000 Hungarians live in the western part of Ukraine. That is why if Hungary starts sending weapons to Ukraine, these Hungarians who do live in Ukraine might be the potential targets for Russian artillery strikes. He says that even though this is a conflict that is very dangerously close to the borders with Hungary, the first priority for him is to save the lives of Hungarians. If you stayed this long into the video, please consider becoming my channel member. But if you're not ready for this, that's okay, you can just simply like this video and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for your attention, check the links in the description, stay safe and see you tomorrow.